Apologies for not updating sooner. I was planning on updating 2 days ago, but some things came up and I couldn't. So here's fan art from yours truly, Tilda. This is actually my first time doing fan art digitally, so I'm very happy. I think it turned out good, but Midoriya's hair was a pain lol. Tell me what you all think. Also, I finally got 1k plus votes on one of my stories. I was literally screaming in the kitchen 2 days ago. I was baking when I checked my phone. I'm so happy. Thank you all so much. Road to 1.5k votes, guys. Remember to vote and comment. 80 plus votes for both chapter 11 and 12 is very much appreciated. Please enjoy. Part 1. Thanks for helping me, you too. Uraraka smiles brightly as she looks at herself in the mirror. She's wearing a rose dress shirt with a black tie and a dark pink tennis skirt and black high-top boots. She keeps her hair the same and puts on a bit of makeup. Asui and Toga smile proudly. No problem, Toga says. Now don't waste any more time, go get laid. I'll make sure of that. Wait, no. I'm going now. Uraraka says, grabbing her bag and cell phone as she checks if Midoriya sent her a text. She smiles and replies back. Izuku Midoriya. Hey Uraraka. I'm all ready. Meet me at the park entrance, alright? Ochako Uraraka. Yeah, I'm on my way there now. See you soon, Deku. Heart. She slips her phone in her bag, goes into the kitchen, grabs her basket of snacks and walks out with her friends. Once they reach the sidewalk, she turns to them and smiles widely. I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow, the brunette says. Again, thanks for helping me get ready. It's alright, Ochako, Asui says, and Toga nods giddily. Have a good time and take care. I will. Well, bye guys, the brunette says before grabbing her bike and riding off in the direction of the park. Once she leaves, Asui and Toga exchange glances before nodding. Suddenly, a car drives over and stops next them. The window winds down, revealing Tokiyami in the driver's seat. He smirks slightly. Need a ride? Don't pretend like I didn't ask you to come here. Asui deadpans as she and Toga get into the car. She takes a seat in the front, while the blonde girl gets comfortable in the back. Promoted stories. You'll also like Playboy Hollow right pointing triangle Bakudaku 249k 7.7k. But that isn't going to stop me from taking back what was rightfully mine from the fucking beginning. Izuku and Uraraka are best friends, nothing could ever tear the infamous child Iswocha fanfic 15.2k 548 quirkless. Book 2 started. April 12, 2023 ended. March 2, 2025. Both Midoriya and Uraraka will face something they aren't ready for, a family, and become parents. Toget. Garden of Green MHA Iswocha 15.1k 453 in. Which Ochako Uraraka, in her second year at UA and no longer in denial of her feelings for Izuku Midoriya, contracts the deadly Hanahaki disease. After all, Unriki, Shining Light Iswocha 40.5k 912 quickless, normal, no heroes or quirks. So Izuku Midoriya and Ochako Uraraka have been best friends since kindergarten. But when problems in high school try to drift them, a million reasons, Iswocha fanfic, under 71.3k 1k. Ochako Uraraka and Izuku Midoriya have always had feelings for each other, but they never wanted to admit it. They have always wanted to find opportunities to tell each. BNHA. The Paths He Chooses. Book 1. A Fate of Few, 150k 2.6 kits. A normal day for Izuku as he completes his normal routine and goes to school. Along the way he runs into Yui Kodai, a quiet and mysterious girl of Class 1B, they. Life is simple. Love is not. Izuku x Maruko, 138k 3.6k. Completed adult quirkless Izuku. Rumi gets assigned a government liaison to help with her hero work. The problem is Rumi never wanted a partner in the first P. Tokiyami rolls his eyes. I just wanted to sound cool. And aren't you gonna thank me for renting this car first despite the park literally being walking distance? I'm not gonna lie to you, so don't waste your breath. But yes, thank you for renting the car. Now can we go to the park? We need to meet up with the others. The raven-haired male sighs before starting the car and driving into the road. You never change, Sue. You never change. That's a good thing, right? Asui asks without turning to him, searching her contacts for Ashido's number. It would suck if I just started being nice to you. Yup, it would suck indeed. Tokiyami doesn't even try to hide the sarcasm in his reply. Himiko glances between the childhood friends and rolls her eyes. They're like a middle-aged married couple, I swear. The greenette phones the pinkette, who's currently standing in the penthouse lobby along with the others involved in the plan. Everyone except Bakugo, Melissa and Hagakure. Bakugo decides to stay behind because if the gang gets caught, he'd rather be at home than on the streets. Melissa can't go because she's babysitting Eri. Even though Bakugo can look after her, she insists she has to stay behind. Finally, Hagakure can't leave the penthouse without attaching herself to Midoriya, and she doesn't seem eager to leave anyway. Bakugo is understandable, he's always been like that, but Melissa and Hagakure's reluctance is both sudden and suspicious. Regardless, the group that's going is still large enough and the other two were on and off anyway. We're leaving the building now, Ashido informs Asui on the phone as her and the others walk out and get into the car with Kirishima taking the steering wheel. We'll meet you guys there. She ends the call as Kaminari comments. Hey guys, don't you think Melissa and Hagakure were acting super weird? Yeah, but it can't be helped. We'll just tell them everything that happened when we get back. Shiro says, shrugging as Kirishima starts driving into the road. I'm still feeling kinda nervous. Kaminari ponders to himself. I mean, the expression Melissa made isn't something I can ignore. She looked so anxious. Degree. Meanwhile, Uraraka finally reaches the park entrance and rides into it. It's completely deserted, despite it being Friday night, but she assumes people would rather be at the movies or a restaurant. She climbs off her bike and walks for a bit, trying to spot Midoriya. She then remembers that he wanted to meet up at the lake area of the park, so she gets back on her bike and cycles over to that area. When she finally sees Midoriya, her heart skips a beat and she almost falls off her bike, barely catching herself. Midoriya sees this from the picnic table he's seated at and chuckles before going to help her. Uraraka doesn't expect a firm hand to pull her up straight along with her bicycle. She twists her head up around to look into Midoriya's eyes, causing her to blush madly. Sorry, I'm so clumsy, she stutters her apology, hastily getting off her bike and looking away. No, you're not, you just got distracted. Tell me, was it me? The greenette says smoothly, bending forward to catch her expression. When all he meets is a blushing mess and even more stuttering, he chuckles again. Again. I'm just kidding, Uraraka. It's good to see you again. You look beautiful. He removes her hand from her bike while saying, I'll help you move this. You carry your basket. All right, she replies, having calmed down but still blushing a bit. Thank you. It's good to see you too, Deku. You also look great. She lifts her food basket from her bike's basket and walks beside the man as he pushes her bike too. Once they reach the picnic table, they put everything down and sit opposite of each other. Uraraka fiddles with her skirt under the table, avoiding the man's gaze. She's met up with him so many times already, but for some reason, everything feels different this time. Maybe it's because she knows he's famous now, or the fact that she's decided to confess to him today. Either way, she's definitely nervous, but if she's going to pull this off, she needs to be confident. At the sound of something making contact with the wood, she looks up to find the greenette placing two bento boxes along with treats like cinnamon rolls, eclairs, milk tarts, and donuts on the table. As he brings out some drinks, he finally catches her wandering and sparkling gaze. He smiles at how cute she looks before clearing his throat rather loudly, immediately startling and drawing her attention to him. So I assume you've been doing all right, Uraraka. Midoriya questions as he brings out plastic cups, paper plates, and a pair of chopsticks. How's your studying been going? Uraraka ponders whether she should bring out her own food, suddenly feeling inferior to Midoriya for how much he brought and how delicious and expensive everything looks. She bites the inside of her cheek nervously before realizing that she's been too quiet and Midoriya is bound to realize something wrong. Urarik, it's been great. She suddenly yells, causing Midoriya to stare at her in surprise. She blushes from embarrassment as she sighs. I'm sorry, I know that you were probably looking forward to this hangout and so was I, and I'm happy to see after a while. But, it's just that, there's some things I've been wanting to tell you for some time now and I don't feel like I'll be able to do anything else without saying what's on my mind. Okay, that's fine, Midoriya says, waiting patiently for what she has to say. Urarik clenches her hands into fists and squeeze her eyes shut, try to collect her words. Eventually, she looks up at him. I know who you really are. Midoriya freezes for a moment as he stares back at the brunette with widened eyes. She continues to gaze back at him with a somewhat unreadable expression. You're the most famous writer in the world, right? The number one writer and symbol of literature. She asks nervously. Midoriya just stares on at her in surprise but seems to chuckle sheepishly as he covers his face in embarrassment. Uraraka has never seen him like this before. He's usually so calm and level-headed, making her blush and whatnot. But now, he looks like he wants to dig a hole and stay there. Deku, how long have you known? The muffled question comes out bluntly but sounds very serious. The girl gazes down. I actually found out recently. I saw an article about you and well, I honestly couldn't believe it at first, but when I actually started researching you, well, I knew it was true. She glances to the side. To think this whole time, I was hanging out with a celebrity and I didn't know. Well, I've never been that up to date with celebrity news and all that stuff anyway. I've always had other things to worry about. Still, it makes me happy that I got to know you as a person without initially knowing who you really were, and I'm not upset with you for not telling me. I can understand why. She looks back at him and grabs his hands, slowly moving them away from his face. When she finds a blushing brunette, with downcast eyes and a quivering lip, her heart nearly stops. He's so cute, she yells in her head before shaking it and giggles. What's wrong, Izuku? Midoriya? Why's your face so red? Is it because of me? Midoriya looks down to avoid her gaze before speaking. Are you sure you don't hate me for not telling you? He sounds so sad when he asks this and Uraraka is surprised. He really feels bad for never saying anything and this breaks her heart. No, Deku, of course not. After spending so much time together and with you deciding to write a book about me, how could I ever hate you? In fact, I. She feels her heartbeat begin to pick up as she gulps. Her cheeks heat up as the words get caught in her throat, but she urges herself to say it, I. Before she can finish, her lips are captured by Midoriya's. She's completely startled by this but finds herself returning the kiss. She hasn't kissed many people, so her experience is lacking a bit. Midoriya, on the other hand, seemed so experienced. He immediately kissed her without the awkward nose bumping or chin grazing. His lips greeted hers perfectly, his hands caressing her cheeks. She feels a shiver from the passion in all the contact from him, and once she completely relaxes, she starts to really enjoy the kiss. Although, after a few seconds needs to breathe and makes a small noise in protest, causing the greenette to quickly pull away. Uraraka is left shocked as she catches her breath. She gazes forward to see the look of horror and mortification on Midoriya's face. Oh my god, I'm so sorry, I don't know why I shouldn't have, I didn't mean to UUURRGHHHHH. He grabs his hair and ruffles it in frustration and shame. Look, I'm sorry, I don't know why I kissed you, I do know, it's because I like you, but I shouldn't have just kissed you like that and I'm sorry. I totally ruined everything, didn't I? Uraraka blinks her brown eyes before laughing out loud. Midoriya looks at her before joining on the laughter. They go on for a good minute or so before finally stopping. When they do, Uraraka smiles softly. It's so weird, you kinda got all embarrassed like I usually do. I guess that means you really do. You like me, huh? Well, I like you too. Even before I knew who you really were, I liked you. I just never thought you'd like me back, but I'm happy to know that even an ordinary girl like me can be with an amazing guy like you. Midoriya chuckles. Maybe it's because I'm pretty ordinary at heart. So I guess ordinary attracts ordinary, right? Well, I guess it does. Uraraka chuckles as well. Midoriya smiles softly before suddenly remembering the food in front of them. Hungry, starving, she says as she finally feels the emptiness in her stomach. She lifts up her own basket and pulls out packet of cookies and her own homemade sandwiches. I brought some stuff too, although it's not as much as you brought. She admits sheepishly. Nonsense, I'll eat whatever you have. He says, helping himself to one of her sandwiches. His eyes light up at how delicious they are. This is so good. You made these. Yup. Uraraka responds proudly. Wow, I'm not worthy of such good food. He says dramatically. He looks to the bento boxes that he brought. Here, try one of these, I made them. Wait, you can cook. Uraraka says in surprise as she opens one of the boxes to see an assortment of rice, chopped vegetables, egg rolls, and meat. Wooa, with the chopsticks he also brought, she digs into the food. Her mouth explodes with different flavors. Wow, this is incredible. Midoriya smirks, which doesn't go unnoticed by the brunette. Why are you looking so smug all of a sudden? No reason. That's what you say, but I beg to differ, she mutters, pouting. As they continue to eat and talk about their week, it's like most of the barriers that were between them are finally gone. It feels good. So, listen, now that I know you like me back, I don't want to start dating or anything right now. Uraraka admits, and it's not because of any serious reason, I wanna focus on my finals, and no offense, but you'll definitely be a distraction. Midoriya pretends to gasp, you wound me, Uraraka. What? It's true. She blushes as she says. So I'd appreciate it, if you waited for me, can you do that? You don't even have to ask, I'll wait and be cheering you on. Midoriya agrees and Uraraka is very happy to hear that. But there is something that I want to. Oh, what is it? I want us to be on first name basis. He says, smiling at the girl. I mean, you call me Deku, which is really just another way to say my first name. So I'd like to refer to you as Ochako if that's alright. Uraraka thinks about it and it makes sense. Plus, if they are going to date, they might as well. Yeah, it's alright. You can definitely call me Ochako. So that means, I can call you Izuku sometimes, right? Midoriya chuckles, sure, you can call me that whenever you want. As the two of them went back to eating and talking, a certain group of troublemakers along with Asui, Toga and Tokiyami are hiding in the far bushes. Shiro manages to catch everything from Uraraka's arrival to their kiss and confessions to the first name conversation. Ashido smirk, looks like everything went smoothly. Good for Midoriya for finding a catch like Uraraka. Yup, and she seems really genuine too. I can see why he likes her so much. Jiro comments, well, now that we have a video and saw everything ourselves, we can rest easy. Shiro says, stopping the video and saving it, so we should probably get out of here before Midoriya finds out we followed him, Kirishima suggests sheepishly. Yeah, let's not overdo it, I think we've seen enough, Ashido agrees, turning away from subjects of the conversation to look at her friends. Let's go to the car. Suddenly, she's cut off by her phone vibrating and she brings it out to check who's calling when she notices the time. Wow, it's already 10. And I wonder why Melissa's calling me. Oh wait, she probably wants to know how everything went. She picks up the call while grinning. Hey Lissa, nice of you to call, you won't believe what happened. Ashido, Midoriya knows, Melissa says bluntly, her voice sounding terrified. Huh, the Pinkett doesn't process what she's being told. Midoriya knows we've been snooping around behind his back. He knows everything involving Uraraka's friends and Tokiyami and that we looked into his phone. Everything. Melissa tells her, her voice beginning to shake. You're kidding. Ashido covers her mouth. How did he find out? I don't know, he didn't say. So that's why you didn't want to come. Why didn't you tell us before we left? Melissa is silent for a moment. He said he'd go easier on you guys. She mutters, if I told you at exactly 10 p.m., when you guys are still at the park. Ashido's pupils dilated. No, no, you don't mean. He knows you guys are there. He knew the entire time. I'm really sorry. The beep from the call ending is all Ashido hears when she slowly removes the phone from her ear. Her face looks pale as she turns to the others. Kaminari is the first person to speak after seeing her state. Hey Ashido, you okay? Who was that? He asks, the rest of them staring at her in concern. It was Melissa, she mutters, gulping before continue. She just told me. Midoriya knows we're here. The others blanch as well, exchanging panicking glances. Okay, you can tell us the details later. We need to leave now. Kirishima says as he urges them all to quickly crawl away. Although before they can get too far, Asui stands up. This causing more panic to arise from the young adults. What are you doing? He's going to see you. Shiro whisper shouts. Don't worry, this is all a part of our plan. Asui says calmly, what are you talking about? This wasn't a part of the plan. Jiro says, looking confused. Asui glances to the side as though she remembers something. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean our plan. She points between her and them. I meant our plan. She then points between her and Midoriya, much to the horror of the celebrities. Ashido gasps, glaring at the high schooler. It was you. You played us. You told Midoriya behind our backs, you sly. Ignoring the professional dancer, the greenette turns to Midoriya and waves at him. Hey Mr. Midoriya, it's time. The way the group of adults twist their heads to the direction in which said writer is seated is so dramatic, it seems straight out of drama TV series. Midoriya and Uraraka looks over to where Asui is standing along with Toga and Tokiyami. Midoriya nods at her in acknowledgement while Uraraka looks between the writer and her friends in confusion and surprise. What's going on? She asks, furrowing her eyebrows. Why are you here? Sue and Hamiko and Tokiyami? What's happening? Asui and the other two walk out of the bushes and over to the semi-lovers. Asui smiles at Uraraka before turning to Midoriya. I trust you'll deal with them appropriately. She says. But of course, he replies. Seriously, what is going on here? How do you two know each other? Uraraka asks, genuinely confused and curious. And why are you here? Why is Tokiyami here? No offense, none taken. The DJ shrugs. Asui places a hand on her brunette friend's shoulder. We'll explain everything in a moment, but right now we need to go. What? But Deku and I are still hanging out, she reasons, looking back at the greenette in hopes he'll protest only to find him packing up his and her stuff away. Huh, Deku, what are you? Listen to me, Ochako. The greenette interrupts her, his voice calm and serious as he passes the brunette her food basket. I had a really great time tonight, probably the best I've spent with you, and I know there will only be more great times to come after this, knowing her feelings are mutual. But right now, some things need to be taken care of, like you passing your finals and a very long discussion about privacy and honesty. Okay, Uraraka glances to the side, still a bit puzzled. Suyu, Toga and Tokiyami will explain everything to you. I have something to take care of, so I'll need to go now, so I'll see you when your finals are over. Make sure to call me. Midoriya says, softly gazing into her eyes. He caresses her cheek before slowly descending his face towards hers. Her face goes bright red. Is he gonna kiss me right now? She closes her eyes shut, expecting contact on her lips only to be met with a peck on her forehead. Her eyes look up to find him moving away and patting her on the head, smiling down at her. You should get going, he says. Yeah, I guess, Uraraka says sadly, glancing downwards. But I'm kinda gonna miss you. Midoriya's heart squeezes at her expression, so he tries to think of something to cheer her up before they part ways. You know what? Whenever you feel like you wanna talk to me but can't because you need to focus, you can wear this. He starts to shrug his green hoodie off. Wait, you don't need to do that. And isn't the whole giving away a hoodie or jacket thing a bit cliche? Uraraka stops herself before she can finish when she sees a pair of muscular, developed arms. The way his biceps flex and bulge when bends his arms has her entire face going red. As he stretches his arm out to give her his hoodie, a cheery smile on his face, she gulps and accepts it. But then again, what do I know anyway? As she slips on his hoodie and takes in his scent, she notes how large it is on her and thinks about how well some clothes can really hide certain aspects of a person's body. She then turns back to him and decides to give him a hug. He isn't expecting this but hugs back nonetheless. My life is complete, she muses happily as she buries her face in his chest. After they separate, Uraraka smiles at him. Well, I'll see you soon. Izuku. She waves at him before leaving with her friends. Yeah, take care. He waves back at her. As they walk past the bushes, Asui turns to the adults who were watching the whole scene. Good luck, is all she says as she continues by, why you? Ashido clenches her fist at her, still feeling played and outsmarted. Uraraka looks at them curiously. Wait, who are those people in the bushes? Just keep walking. Both Toga and Tokiyami say as they push her along. Before the Pinkett can even think about being angry with the greenette, her attention is turned to the looming shadow over her and the others. She gulps, before slowly and shakily moving her head towards the greenette, who despite smiling down on them, had such rage and disgust in his narrowed eyes, it nearly made their souls leave their bodies. The contrast from how he was earlier with Uraraka and how he is now is terrifying. The Pinkett put up a shaky hand, attempting to smile. Hey Midoriya, how's it going? Save the small talk for a day, I don't want to strangle you bastards. Midoriya seethed through his teeth, shutting her up. Now you all better get to your fucking car and get back to the penthouse and to Katsuki's suite. If you even try to detour, I will find you and I will hurt you. The group of adults went completely white at the command. He didn't call Bakugo, Kachan. We're definitely in for it now. They simultaneously thinks. Kaminari begins to panic. Shit, I knew this would end badly. He's gonna kill us. I need to get out of here. He looks in the direction of the entrance, focusing on the open gate. The open gate of freedom. I'm not going to be beaten. I will survive, he thinks with determination as he gets on his feet and starts bolting, much to the horror of the others. He's a moron and dead, they think with fearful expressions. Midoriya turns to Kaminari with cold, lifeless green eyes as he runs away. Just like lightning, he catches up to him in seconds, gets in front of him and lands a swift hard kick to his stomach. He groans in pain and falls to his knees. Midoriya roughly grabs the collar of the blonde's shirt and brings him to meet his angry glare. Kaminari, overtaken by fear, immediately loses consciousness. His head hangs backwards and arms go limp. Denki, Jiro screams for her boyfriend, knowing it'll land on deaf ears. That's Midoriya for you. This man was a track and field star back in high school. Only Iida could top him. Kirishima mutters fearfully, don't forget junior kickboxing champion. Those kicks are deadly, Zero adds on, gulping. Midoriya clenches his fists. What are you all still doing? He asks as he turns to look at them, his expression showing full-on rage. Get going before you really piss me off. They all scrambled around to get up and ran towards the car, just as Midoriya throws Kaminari's unconscious body at them. And take this piece of trash too. Degree. 10 minutes later, everyone involved in the snooping of Midoriya's love life is now present at Bakugo's suite and on the knees. Some of them, namely Ashido, Kaminari, who woke up, Hagakure and Kirishima are groveling and continuously plead G for forgiveness. Midoriya, who's the only sitting on the Bakugo's couch with his legs crossed and a smoothly in his hand, looking down on everyone with an unreadable expression. Although, that doesn't eliminate the deadly aura he's still emitting. After having a long conversation about the whole situation, it's safe to say that everyone involved indeed felt bad for their actions and learned their lesson. Midoriya takes a quick sip of his smoothie before speaking. So, just to make sure we're on the same page, are we going to try this nonsense again? No. Are we going to possess me in my sleep and look through my phone? This is more for Hagakure, so she's the only one who answers. No. Are we going to speak to me if curious about something? Yes. Are we going to respect my decision to not tell you if something is going on unless it is very serious and I'm just being stubborn? Yes. Are we going to apologize to Tsuyu, Toga and Tokiyami for getting them involved? Everyone responds with a yes, but Ashido clicks her tongue. This doesn't go unnoticed by Midoriya. Are we? Why yes, she says afterwards upon hearing his change in tone. Good, and are we going to make it up to me for doing all this behind my back? Yes. Good, Midoriya says, standing up and stretching. Then all is forgiven, and let's try to keep it that way, alright? Yeah, they all say, standing up, we're sorry. I know. The Greenette smiles, while shaking his head. His friends are ridiculous, but they're still his friends. He can't stay mad at them even if he tries. Degree. Later that night, Midoriya is lying bed, with his computer in his lap. He decides to keep working on the novel about Uraraka. He's had to put aside because of his work, but since he's free now, he can get back to it suddenly. His phone starts vibrating and he checks it to see he got 4 texts but from 2 different people. The first 3 is from none other than Uraraka. Ochako. Hey Deku, I know I'm not supposed to talk to you until my finals are done, but I just wanted to properly thank you for tonight. Ochako. Suyu explained everything to me. I can't believe our friends were orchestrating all that behind our backs. But it seems that my friends had the better intentions, no offense. Midoriya snorts at that before he continues reading. Ochako. Anyway, she said she met you a while back and called you on Monday to tell you what your friends were doing. I guess she was just worried about me, she tends to be like that. But anywho, that's all I wanted to say. Thanks for your hoodie. Good night, heart heart. The greenette chuckles as he begins to reply. You. No problem. Take care, Ochako, and good night. You. Do your best in your exams, I'll be rooting for you. He decides not to send a heart emoji back since it's a bit embarrassing for him. He then gets out of her chat to see who the 4th text is from. He mutters. Shoto, we haven't talked in a while. I wonder what he's texting me for. Shoto Todoroki. PLS call when free. It's urgent. Midoriya sweat drops. Okay. He clicks the call button and puts it to his ear. The call connects. Hey Sho. Izuku. Yeah, what is it? Please help me. Midoriya sits up properly as his eyebrows furrow in concern. What's wrong? Is everything okay? It's Momo. Todoroki says, his voice sounding distraught. What happened? She's planning a huge party for my birthday and I have to be there. He whines, I don't want to be there. Please help me. Midoriya sighs and facepalms. He forgets he has other troublesome friends in his life. Uraraka's really in for something when we start dating. He ponders to himself. My life is anything but ordinary. End of part 1. Damn. 5k plus words. You guys are welcome. This is it, my dear readers. I hope you still enjoyed the chapter. If I had a favorite moment, it was definitely when Midoriya took off his hoodie. Just saying, I like it when guys have muscular arms. I'm a girl with needs. Don't judge me XD. I also left a teaser for future chapters. Yup, Todoroki, Yaoyorozu, Iida, Tagada, everyone else I mentioned but did not show, and many others will be debuting in part 2. So look forward to it. Here's some fan art from a person by the name Yumi. Sorry, I'm not sure what your username is, but still thank you. It's inspired by a scene in the last chapter. I'll be posting an important notice next week to tell you all the details of the hiatus and some other things. Again, remember 80 plus votes for the 2 recent chapters. And I'll see you next week for the notice. Tilda Destiny style anime, where stories live. Discover now.